And hello, everyone, and welcome to Chomping at the Bit. And oh boy, Top Gun Maverick, absolute top tier film. 4 years, but it was worth it. Damn, was it good from start to finish. The action, the whole train, the training sequences. Oh man, I almost could not put this into words. I know I am a little bit late doing this, but everything's been kind of like a little, a little wonky the past couple of days. I know everything was kind of short. Everything was kind of short notice. I know. I should have got this. I should have got this thing out sooner, but I know I should have got my thoughts in about it immediately as I got home from seeing it yesterday. But other than that, this was a very solid film. And even then, there is a lot of callbacks to the original film, even from the very opening with Kenny Loggins' favorite song that pretty much defines the 1980s, or one song that pretty much defines that pretty much screams it. Yeah, this is the 1980s. So yeah, we go past that intro, and of course we then kind of cut to Pete Mitchell, or aka Maverick, back to doing what he always does best, piloting, but not being a Top Gun instructor initially from the start. Oh, hey, Goonies. How's it hanging? So yeah, from the initial start, he's going on. Actually, I don't think this is much. I don't really think it's much of a spoiler, but the thing is, he actually is piloting a scramjet engine, which is basically a high altitude hypersonic jet that actually is meant to actually go to the edge of space and actually could be the first potential space fighter. But I'm not sure how much further that will get off the ground, considering I'm not sure how far our U.S. Space Force is going to go. But here's hoping that's actually really gonna be a thing. But other than that, again, all the effects are 100% practical. I can't believe if Tom Cruise was actually up inside that thing, that would have been interesting. That he literally got to go to the edge of space. So again, I'm jealous as hell, and I mean, I'm a bit of an aviation nut. You couldn't already tell from the avatar, from this avatar of mine that I have right here on screen. You couldn't already tell that. And again, I even have even the picture that's right behind me shows. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nut for aviation, including even this one here, and right above my desk, the Thunderbirds, directly from the Air Force, and of course the very thing the very branch of the military my grandfather served in, but he never flew. Again, kind of difficult. You don't really see many fighters of color in the Air Force, even in back in like the late 50s, early 60s. Oh, favorite fighter? Yeah, my favorite fighter. Damn, There's so many good ones, but if I'm really gonna really stretch how good it is hmm, which one are you talking about? Modern or like JF-17s? Like I don't know. That sounds like a European fighter of some kind. But I would say if we're gonna go by purely like modern aircraft, I'd say probably the F-22 Raptor, most definitely. And I know the F, but also like I said, the current people you see, and I know even then I kind of know. I also still kind of have a lot of love for. Hang on 1 second. I better go grab it really quickly. yeah, Soviet Russian MiGs, yes. Or else, but now it's the Sukhois we fly now. So yeah, the classic F-18 Super Hornet, which again they obviously have the one, since Top Gun is a Navy special flight school. It's obviously the 2-seater variant. They have one for single seat variants. But again, Top Gun is something that is done mostly for the Navy, and of course, one of the photos one of the posters I have on my wall right over here is the Blue Angels, and they are the Navy. And of course, the Thunderbirds are the Air Force. But I'm kind of getting off track here. So yeah, Maverick is piloting a scramjet, and he's trying to get past Mach 10, but ultimately he nearly blacks out, because that is something that we are always going to have to see. Because again, you really are going at like nearly 4,500 at 45,000 miles per hour, and I mean, they really take the whole thing with the G forces very seriously in this movie. It is insane, and even the operation they're gonna have to do in the movie, it is insane. They have to do all this. They have to do all of this. So it really shows you how much these pilots have to train even to do the most riskiest maneuvers, because Top Gun is training the best of the best in terms of fighter pilots, at least for the Navy side. Again, we already know there are pilots, and of course the already established Air Force, but again, their main thing is obviously to maintain air superiority. The Marines are the ones sent in first. They're the ones that usually are going to go with like the ground attack and like air to ground close range attacks with stuff like Sea Harriers or the Thunderbolts. But other than that, his commanding officer tells him that no, yeah, we're shutting this program down, but now we're sending you back to go do Top Gun again. It's like, all right. But even then, they kind of also going a little bit about saying the idea that drones are gonna be the future, and that kind of is true, because the military is veering toward that. And yeah, they do say, yeah, the whole thing, yeah, we need to feed, house, and and of course pilots we have to have train and actually maintain our pilots too. But again, the movie still tells you that, yeah, a pilot's instinct, a computer is not going to do all that, is not going to do that. It's only going to do what it's programmed to do, not give you an instinct that a pilot does, which is the same thing that happens in the first movie. And the major callbacks to this movie is just beautifully done, especially what happens with a certain character. I'm pretty sure if you've seen the movie, you probably already know who the character probably is. And I mean, he absolutely looks the part. I mean, I know they kind of like probably like did a lot of makeup job on him to make him appear to be a dead ringer for a certain character. And again, this is supposed to be a certain character's son. And we all know, if you haven't seen the movie by this point, it's a nice little nod, and it's still sweet. An even greater sweet treat, even though I know this was also filmed before like all the virus of unknown origin happened. Yeah, seeing Iceman back was nice, if not haunting, to see him in one last scene together with Maverick before, Val Kilmer inevitably passed away. And even writing his actual real life condition around in the story was actually well done. It was sad, it was beautiful, it was also pretty haunting. It was just nice to see him one last time. And that's a good way to honor him. It was perfect how they honored him. And only he's brought back to Top Gun because Iceman trusted Maverick. And now he's having to work with this next. Now he's trying to help train this next generation of pilots to do this operation. And again, they're using F-18 F-18 Super Hornets, and they're going, and even in the movie they're going up. They're going to go up against surface to air missiles like we saw in the trailer, and of course another thing they go up against. They actually go up against Russian Sukhoi F-37 or Russian Su-37s, the fifth generation Russian fighters. And I know it's kind of kept ambiguous of where the operation is taking place or where the place they're striking is, because of course they don't want to, like, ruffle some feathers with a certain real life country. But again, they use a lot of the jets even in the movie. And even then, there's even one last thing that is amazing, and it really brought a little bit of a callback, and how it really goes into it. There's like literally a crazy dogfight between an old classic and of course this new Sukhoi. And it made me think to myself, oh man, this baby, this old baby still got some teeth. And it's just good. I mean, if you probably already know, I don't want to, but I'm just trying to keep it vague for all the people who haven't seen the movie yet. But it is a true successor and a sequel to this film, to the original Top Gun, and I absolutely loved it. I mean, I even got a chance to see the original Top Gun a few days ago, and I mean, still awesome movie. And now seeing this new one, it really feels like this is how you make a sequel, even if it's like years later. And this is how you do it, with a passing of the torch. Both characters there's a lot of characters that are in respect of each other, and I know some characters are just kind of, there. Like some characters we saw in the trailer, they're just kind of there in the background. I mean, they're competent enough, but again, they don't really add much they don't add as much weight to the story. But it is very, very well done, and I truly, truly enjoyed it. It's a great send off to the late Val Kilmer, and of course, Tom Cruise again did an amazing job. Heck, even at the very beginning of the movie, he even said that, yeah, I'm really glad that you're all here watching in the movie theater. We really pulled off all the special effects. And sure, I know Tom Cruise, yeah, you like the guy or hate him. I mean, that was very nice that he just wanted to say that, yeah, that we, the audience, should be thanked. It's pretty good. Yes, Derpy. Yes, Derpy. There was that. Absolutely is 100% true. Because yeah, there are a lot of tear jerking. There are a lot of things that will make you kind of like get you really in the feels. But I'd say it wasn't enough to make me cry. It was just like, oh man, that's amazing. And again, like the near ending and like what you could say the climax of the movie, it was, again, like I said, it was probably the best part of it, especially when it comes to like the actual reason why Top Gun is even there, to teach you about dogfighting. There is a big dogfight in this movie, and truly against a certain old classic, which I'm pretty sure we all know it is. As we all know, it really still shows that, again, there's a line that's said in the movie. Yeah, it's not about the aircraft, it's about the pilot. And again, if a pilot is skilled, it still makes you wonder. You won't often wonder how I saw with Camel pilot from World War One would fare against a modern, like say an F4 Phantom. I know probably the speed advantage is something, but if it was like a close night range fight, it will make you wonder, could a Saab with Camel actually try to beat a modern aircraft in just like a full on dogfight? I mean, I know probably maybe not a jet, maybe, but I'd say maybe like, okay, best example is maybe say a Saber could probably go up against an F4 Phantom, maybe. But other than that, I think could the better comparison would be a Saab with Camel versus a P-51 Mustang from World War II. But it is all the more great to see an amazing dogfight, and even then it's a big daring escape near the end, because actually characters do get shot down and becomes like a harrowing escape out of enemy territory. It is amazingly good. And of course, there's always standard fare of romance and all this stuff, but that's just not as important to the story. But Jennifer Connelly did look really good in the movie, and again, just like Tom Cruise, she's aged pretty well. And see, people, that's what happens. That's what happens when you don't do drugs and you don't subject yourself to all the manners of other things. And also eat right and always exercise. And you could look as good as Tom Cruise at his age. Still can't believe the man's in his 60s, or he's close to his 60s. But overall, I will say Top Gun Maverick is a solid 9 out of 10 film. And anyone who's a fan of this franchise, go see it. You'll never be disappointed by it. Lucky for me, I always got to see it at a matinee price for $5, and it was worth it. Again, it's also worth a good rewatch in the movie theater. I'll probably see it again this Friday when I got some more funds on me. But thank you all for watching. Like and subscribe to this video. Follow my social links. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. And may God and the Force be with you always. Peace out, everybody.